Okay. Hello. How is everybody doing? It's Eli, the Marfan homie, back at it again. Um, yeah, I'm back. Couple minutes to take a start. I'd like to start and just have things right. Not perfect, but right. So we're on episode 7. Who knew that I would actually keep this thing going for this long and not get tired? But like I said, it acts for me as if I could just talk about it and whatever else. If you're on YouTube, as you can see, I got the mic up. This is going to be my new setup until I get a new mic, so I can relax and just talk and 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 talk. Um, but yeah, episode 7. Um, episode 7. Family Ties Part 1. So when I was writing this out, I was just like, man, uh I think this would have been the episode to get my family on here and stuff and whatnot, but I don't think it is because I haven't contacted them. But it's okay because I mean, again, I can just talk and talk the way I want and talk about what I want at this point. Um, Let me see, bring this ring light down just a little bit. Try to at least. But trying to do something in this studio using this ring light and whatnot. This thing is very bright, but I hope it helps with my video posting. Still haven't posted a video yet. That is coming soon. Again, I want you guys to know that is coming soon. So where are we? Like I said, episode 7. This is February 7th. I will be posting this. I think that is the 10th. That's that Friday. That's on a Friday. No. I will not be posting this. I'll be posting previous episode 6 I recorded. So again, I'm trying to stay on a 2 week every week to 2 week cadence. Just in the importance or how anxious I feel about getting the episode out and everything about it like that. So again, stay tuned. It's a lot of stuff to talk about and whatever else. So let's recap what happened since last time I recorded. I told you I was gonna start keeping like a little notebook handy, just to key recap or think about what it is that I've done since last time I've recorded. I don't think I've done anything too special. Like I said, last week we were snowed slash iced in. So it started melting around Thursday, Friday. Um, I fixed my car. A light came on. Thank YouTube. I am an official YouTube mechanic. After I watched the video of what to do from another official YouTube mechanic, but a couple lights came on. It pisses me off because uh, I've seen like the check engine lights and the all types of lights like all my life and like all the cars that my family's own. And so like I take pride in like taking care of my car and not necessarily having the any of the lights on. So like when the lights come on, I'm just like I gotta get this fixed. So luckily I'm in a couple Toyota forums, forerunners to be exact, but I'm in a couple Toyota forums. And they tell you like, hey, something to worry about, something not to worry about. This is how you do this is how you do that. So one in there contacted a person that I know in there. He did some work on my car as well. And he was like, man, there's nothing too much to worry about. You just gotta do X, Y, and Z. I was about to do X, Y, and Z, but then I realized I feel like driving that far, which I end up driving that day anyway. But I went on YouTube to do something else, and they called it a 0 point reset. So I did a 0 point reset for my vehicle VSC, vehicle stability control. So yeah, I was driving a whole day without traction control on a lifted SUV, so you can see how worried I was. But I'm not too worried. I was like, let me just get home and I'll figure it out the next day. And I figured it out, and everything is good. So that's a little bit of what happened since. How's the month going? Well, month of February just started. Can't wait for it to end. But the month of February just started. Uh, so got a couple things planned this weekend. As you know, it's a celebration for the lovebirds. Um, in America, let's say. Then Super Bowl will be this Sunday, but by the time you've heard this, you already see who won the Super Bowl. I saw something on Instagram or Facebook, and they like tried to predict the Super Bowl, and I was like, damn, if they're right, I saved the photo, but I can't pull it up right now. But if they're right, that'll be crazy. I'm gonna have that photo handy. I might place a bet or two. I don't know. What else? Next Tuesday from this day will be Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to all you guys out there that are in special in someone's life. Um and oh, I wrote to myself, LOL, give warnings. So like I said, this is the Family Ties episode. I mean, this is just an episode to say what my family has, or like how the comments and stuff have like affected me since I've been comprehending the damn comments. But I think I'm missing something like that. It's supposed to be housework, but again, work's going good. I got a couple things done today, and that was going good. But back to the warnings. So it's just like, yeah. So with that, I say, you know what? I love you. I love you, families. Nothing against you. Just a couple of the things that's like, damn, but they're not bad. I think they're more so like they molded me in a tough way, and I still take a lot of those things to heart, and it's a lot of like a lot of things you just never necessarily forget. And you know how like I guess when you get older, you just like, well, I know where to spend my time or and stuff like that. Like that's where like those type of things. Like I know where to spend my time, per se. And again, it's just a lot of things you'll never be able to forget. But I think I said in like one of my previous episodes is that people make fun of what they don't understand is one, and I guess the mature or adult way of looking at it is people don't know how to handle what they don't understand, and I think that's where a lot of like family members were coming from, and at the time like when like certain things were said, I'm just like, man, okay, but I don't know. But let's get into it. The love. Like I said, I love my family. I know they love me. Immediate, distant, blah blah blah. I love it. I love them. It's just again, it was more so like understanding that I was different from their children or like nieces, nephews, and cousins, and whatever the case may be. The love is. I mean, again, it's. Oh, hold on. Who is this? Oh, somebody is calling me while I'm recording. That is a no go. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this on silent. But oh, they tried to mess up the episode, but you know what? We're still going. I'm just gonna have to call him back when I'm finished. It's my brother. Uh, um, what was I saying? The love. Yes, I love my family. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my family. There's not a bullet I wouldn't take. There's nothing that I would not do for my family. There's not a lie I wouldn't keep or a secret I wouldn't keep for my family. But just do right before the lie or the secret gets out, because it won't be me. I'll just say that. But no, I love my family. I mean, but past that, let's go to it's just as the comments. It's just more so the comments were, you know how like certain things don't leave you. Like again, certain things that happen to you in your life you never forget them. And so like one comment, and she probably won't think she said this. One day we were sitting in the car, and I had asked my mom or my sister, but I think I asked my mom. I was like, "Mommy, what does handicap mean?" And then my sister was like, "What you are." And normally, or let's say old, if you were older at the time, you wouldn't think anything of it or anything like that. But when I was younger, still didn't know what it meant. But when I got older, I realized that I did not like that comment. Um, I don't even. I mean, again, it doesn't. I'm not emotional about it. It doesn't like really affect me now. Well, it probably does. It does affect me now because I'm talking about it, and it still lingers on my mind. It's just like, why would you say something like that to your younger brother? And again, you didn't answer the question. You just told me I was handicapped. And when I got older and realized what handicap was, I don't appreciate that. And I mean, since then, well, since that day when I don't know, I was probably in my teens or preteens or whatever, adolescence or whatever. Um, Again, as a child, didn't really think of anything of it. It only came back to me when I started getting older. Um, but now, I like again today, the relationship between me and my sister is pretty good. But I just that comment, it was just like, why would you again like why would you say that to your younger brother? But I think again, she's only 4 years older than me. So at that time, I think that she was even having trouble understanding what it was that she had in her family or like what her younger brother was or going through or anything like that. So I'm just like, man, that really sucks. But I think it's all better now. But I think I know for a fact that her and other family members still have trouble comprehending what it is that me and my some of my other brothers go through, uh, and like why they happen. I mean, again, Google is a great source, but you're not necessarily living it, and you're not asking me the questions and stuff like that. And when I tell you the answer, do you really get how I feel? Um, so I mean, that's just something to share. What's another comment? I mean, again, not for nothing, but it affects you. So like when my one of my older brothers or the the eldest brother would go around just saying "big head little boy" or something like that repeatedly, starts to turn into like a mental abuse thing, right? But nah, I don't think that's what his intentions were. Um, and I'm not gonna say his intentions weren't to be mean because it was a pretty mean thing to say, and he still says it. But the thing is, I mean, I'm older now, but again, the more he said it out as I was younger, it affected me a lot because again, I it more so affected like my self-esteem and stuff like that. And again, my self-esteem, my confidence, and whatever else. And it's just like you didn't help in a positive way with again with me having Marfans and me trying to transition and find my way in life with having Marfans by identifying that, hey, big head ass little boy or something like that. That didn't necessarily help. So yeah, because again, like I go to school. Of course, I would hear it at school because children are mean, but you wouldn't expect like again your older sibling to be that mean in the same way. You would just think a little bit different. I mean, again, that definitely created um a shell, or like an immunity to a lot of like roasting. Like, okay, I'm from Atlanta, and what we do in Atlanta is we roast people. Like again, basically talk about people and roast them, but again, it's all laughs and jokes, and joke on somebody. But I wasn't really much of the jokester. I was more like a target until I spoke up, and they were like, "Oh, okay, he got a couple jokes." But cause again, I just had a couple jokes. I didn't do this shit for a living. I just had a couple jokes. But I think that again, and this sounds so weird, the roasting starting from home made it better in a sense as I went to school. Because it's just like, there's not shit that you can say that I have not already heard from my own family members. And I mean, at the end of the day, it sucks. But it is what it is. Um, Again, it sucked. But it is what it is. And again, I think it made me into like, no, I'm not going to say it made me. It benefited me and it hindered me. I think that's the word. in a couple different ways. Like again, it benefited me because again, as I stepped out the door, my heart show was already on. Like again, there's nothing that you can say I haven't already heard. Like if I'm hearing it from my oldest brother, you saying it to me is just like, all right. Um, but again, you're doing it. You're embarrassing me in front of a group of people that I would have potentially want to be my friends, but now whatever. Um, so it hindered me in that way, but it benefited me. I was just like, I don't really, I can't say I cared too much, but again, I think now that I think about it as I'm talking, I mean, I cared, but it's just like I never let it get to me. I think even one day when I was younger, and I think I discussed this when I was on another episode, but when I was younger, my mom told me to write out uh, something. It made me cry, and she told me to write out something, or like something that happens in school and stuff like that. And I think I wrote about like different kids and different people like making fun of me and stuff like that. And she held me and just like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Um, and I think my mom was probably like the only one that didn't make fun of me, but she would yell, I had to push out that big head of yours and blah blah blah. But she says it to all her children, but to me, like I got the biggest head in the family, so don't say that shit to me. But never took her comments too personal, more so than the other comments that I'm just like, why is this happening? Again, these are the people that I'm looking up to. They're supposed to help me navigate through this thing called teenage life, teenage or younger ages and whatnot. But I mean, it is what it is. I think like another comment that was or question comment that was made when I was younger is like, why are you so skinny? And this is coming from again another older cousin, and I'm just like, do you ask your son that? Do you ask your other people that, or I'm just the skinniest one, and you just figured you could come up to the youngest, skinniest person you can see and act. And again, it was weird, and she would make like slick comments like he needs to eat, or he needs to drink more milk. His bones are weak. This, that, and the third. You can see blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, shut up! You don't know anything what you're talking about. You don't know anything, and I think even to this day, I don't think she comprehends on like what it is that I have been through or what I'm going through every day. But again, when I was younger and just hearing those comments, and I'm just like, this is so weird, and I don't even want to talk about that experience. But I don't know. I felt like sort of like an outcast, and I think that's yeah, no, that's right. I felt like an outcast in my family, honestly, in my whole entire family, meeting and everything. I really did feel like an outcast. Even more so like when I would go visit my cousins, I felt like a little like an outcast because I mean again, I wasn't built the same. And they would look at me, I would look at them, like, are we gonna go or not? Are we gonna have fun or not? Blah blah blah. But but yeah, I'm just like, how could you fix your mouth to say that? And I think even again, I think and I probably said this before, you only know what you're exposed to. And I mean again, not you're not exposed to everything. We weren't rich, so therefore again, they say like rich people expose their children to a lot of different things at an early age, blah 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 blah. And again, I wasn't exposed to a lot, but I was exposed to myself compared to other people around me, and I just figured out, oh, there is a difference between people. But I think that at that point and at that particular household, they weren't exposed to a lot, so their questions flew out a little disrespectfully. But it's just like I get it now. Like again, how old am I? 28. I get it now. And again, I don't hold it against you. I'm just like, damn, don't approach everybody like that because everybody's not like that now. Somebody will fight you or whatever the case may be just because you asking a question about them and that you don't know them. But again, your family, however, my recommendation is just to watch the comments because it's just like, Yeah. Um. So like, is there anything else that like other family members have said anything? And it's not to pick apart like my family, but it's just like no. If nobody thinks that your family doesn't like say stuff or doesn't know, again, it's not to they love you. It's just they're curious human beings as well, whether they're family or not. Um, they're curious human beings, so their comments might come out a certain way, or they probably just simply don't know what to do or say. But it's weird. I don't know. I think like I think that might be it. Like one time I was walking and my cousin-in-law was like, "You got to take a piss." I was like, "Nah, yeah." I was like, "No, this is just how I walk." And he was like, "Oh, okay." But apparently I walk like I got a piss. Apparently somebody told me when I was in school I walk like I got something stuck up my ass, and I was like, "How do you walk like you have something stuck up your ass?" But again, I guess that's me. So again, this is just all the shit that I've heard, and again, it's just like once you hear it at home, pretty much when you hear it at school, it's not gonna bother you. It's just gonna make you question like where y'all get y'all jokes from, because this is crazy. Um, what else that I heard from? Well, I've also heard again the whole "he's not strong" comments, just because again how my body was built. I was skinny, and I guess when you're skinny, that doesn't equate to having strength. So like when I used to visit my grandma in New York, it would just be like, "Oh, don't lift that up, don't lift that up. He's weak. Come, somebody else come get this." And I'm just like, "What?" But again, I mean, again, it just comes from a place of just not understanding what it is that's going on with your with your family member, and not wanting to ask the right questions rather than making assumptions. Because again, my cousin's cure for me was to eat a lot of food and drink cow milk. And they was like, your mom is always feeding you that soy milk, and that's why we were drinking soy milk heavy rather than almond milk. And he's like, your mom is always feeding you that you're on that vegetarian diet that you can't gain any weight. And I'm just like, you don't know anything of what you're talking about. And I think like now I'm just like, dang, my family is a little ignorant. But sue me. Uh, but no, that I think that was I think it was just, again a level of not understanding, a level of ignorance, and a level of wanting to know. But again, once you go about wanting to know something the wrong way, it will hurt your chances of ever learning it from the person you want to learn it from. And that was greatly put. I gotta applaud myself for that one. Encore, encore. Um, Now I forgot what I said. But yeah, no, that's it. Like wanting to know something and just saying certain things or saying it the wrong way, you're not gonna get the answer either you want or from the person that you want it from. And as of like today, and if they still didn't know like what Marfan's is or like other diseases or syndromes exist in the world, I don't know if I would tell them, because again, it's more so like I don't I don't care to tell you anymore. And don't be offended by any means. I'll see you at Thanksgiving, whatever. Um, but nah, that's it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, um, let's just move on. So the stuff that lingered, like I said, the whole handicap comment definitely lingered. I think about it every time I park myself in my handicap spot. But again, I've had 5 surgeries now. What the hell I look like not having a handicap placard? I've had 2 foot surgeries and 3 heart surgeries. I'm definitely getting my handicap placard, and I'm definitely renewing it every 5 years. I'm not walking for nobody, and I'm fully capable of walking the whole parking lot. I choose not to, but again, that I think that is something that I think about every time I park in that spot, which is crazy. I wish I could some way to forget it. If there was like some hypnotist way to get that off my mind. Um, to my brother, the big head thing. I mean, again, it's something like he still says now. It doesn't really affect me, but now I just have the power not to do what it is that he asked me to do. He'd be like, "Hey, big head boy, go get me a beer." Nope, because that's not my name. But he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I love you. But nah, I just again, I've gotten older, I've gotten stronger, I've gotten wiser, and again, people, if there's anybody out there, their family or not, just that remains ignorant to what it is with life, with this thing we call life, that's on you. Um, and again, the point of this podcast is to help understand what it is, a day in my life, a day with Marfans, a day being black with Marfans, and all other cases that you may have think of what Elijah may have been going through at any given point. Um, so yeah, let's see. So how do I feel about it? Like I said, like I said, I love all my family. The feelings are still definitely still there. Like I said, when I came to the realization of about the comments or like how it affected me, like before I even started this podcast, I felt sad because I'm just like, damn. Imagine if I wasn't called this, or imagine if I didn't have this encounter with my sister. Um, Imagine if I didn't have this encounter. Would I think about it? What I mean, again, I wouldn't have that thought at all. Or imagine if I wasn't like the called big head little boy like every day or every chance that was given. Would that change anything at all? Um, I would say I hope it would, because again, I don't I think it took away from my confidence and like what it meant to just have to just be not self conscious about your head. Because again, if you're hearing it every day and stuff like that, not to be self conscious about something, it's something that you're hearing every day is going to be quite hard. So like again, like if someone's calling you fat every single day, you can't go to school and be like, oh yeah, I'm skinny. No, unless you are skinny physically. However, mentally and physically, when you're not skinny, you're what someone else is calling you, and it's going to be hard to get out of that mind space. So, and again, I think that was one thing. And again, now I have with that going on, I had the people at school saying I can't see around that and stuff like that. Like when I was sitting in the front and stuff like that, I'm just like, bro, oh gosh, like I didn't. Some days I didn't even want to go to school because I didn't want to hear it. But I mean, again, I made it through it. I definitely made it through it. The connections. I don't know what I meant by that, but I guess the connections with my family. I mean, uh, same brother that Big Hello Boy. We talk all the time. What does it say? I am my brother's keeper, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely think that's where our relationship is at this point. Um, my sister, we talk often. Couple cousins here and there. Don't necessarily talk, but again, I just have nothing to say. It's no bad blood or anything. Like I said, see you at Thanksgiving, but it's just like we have nothing to talk about because whatever. Um, like I said, I truly love my family and what has transpired and what's going on. And I think again, like my next statement is like I don't love my family any less. I would still take a bullet for them. It's just you can't erase the past, and I think that's what it is. Um, you're not gonna be able to forget those things that basically made you who you are today, in every like in any and every way. So like I'm saying, like yeah, I may have a slightly bigger than usual cranium. However, every time I approach somebody, I'm like, damn, you got a big ass head, and that's what I'm thinking in my mind. Um, and again, some people just be like, oh yeah, just say fuck it or whatever the case may be. I was just like, I don't. Again, things are not that simple. You can say fuck it to a lot of things. However, you're still gonna think about it. Um, like I said, now every time I park my lovely, beautiful vehicle in the handicap space, I think about my sister's comment all the time and how I didn't really get it until I was older. Um, but again, like I said, can't erase the past. The past is the past. Still set eyes on the future. This is a quicker episode than I anticipated. Um, However, I did not write or did not take note words of advice. Words of advice, even though I didn't write it down. Words of advice. Let's see, how can I put this? TikTok, TikTok. If your family member's making fun of you, beat them up. No, that didn't work. I tried it. It didn't work. um, Words of advice. Use what people might say. Or there we go. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Nope, wrong saying. Thanks, Gucci man. I was about to say, sticks and stones may break my bones and bullets won't reflect off me, but these words are gonna show the world how y'all respecting me. In a sense, that would make sense. However, use the words that someone is that are use the words. This is my words of advice. Use the words that someone is trying to use to harm you as a as a booster rather than a something that takes away from you. Yeah, use those words as a booster because honestly, whether you have a big head or not, or just like something, especially if it's the opposite of the other person. Let's just say like in school, a fat person would say, um, "Oh, skinny ass, blah 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 blah," and I'm just like, "You want to be skinny, don't you?" And again, this is just my encounters in school. I'm not taking necessarily any shots at anybody now in my life or whatever the case may be. But again, it's just like growing up in school. It's just like if you don't step to me like that, I'm just like obviously you want to be me. So yeah, it's just like use those words of advice to like boost you in any way possible. Because I think again, the sooner the more you let those words bring you down, it's gonna be harder to get back up. And I'm learning that the hard way. Um, in more ways than one. I've been told I can't accept the compliment because either I think it's either backhanded or just like not true. Um, I can't accept the compliment. Uh, Now I'm at the point where I have to be the strongest person in the room because people used to call me weak. Um, all types of stuff. Just if it's a negative, turn it into a positive. And I think that's where a lot of the world is today. Whatever, turn all your negatives into positives and watch yourself flourish. Words of advice, part two. Turn everything, turn all those words from negative to positive and watch yourself flourish. I think like I said, this is mighty quick. I tried to make this episode longer, which I succeeded in. So thank you guys for listening for this amount of time. But shout out to me, shout out to the fam. Applause. Shout out to me, shout out to the fam, shout out to everybody that made fun of me in school. And we're gonna get to that episode. I don't think I reached that episode yet. I don't know, but if I didn't, shout out to y'all. And then this year would be 10 years since I've graduated high school. So the fact that I'm at the 10-year mark, um, I don't know how I feel about seeing any of them motherfuckers again. Excuse my language, but I don't know how I feel about seeing a lot of them. Like I said, I don't know if I said this or was I was talking to somebody, but I think there's a couple of people that I keep in touch with from high school. Other than that, I can care less about seeing any of them. I think again, some of you guys just made my tenure at high school a living hell, and I wish you nothing but the best. However, I can wish you nothing but the best from a distance, and you don't have to see me. I don't have to see you, and blah blah blah. However, I am curious to see how some of you guys' lives turned out if you decide to attend, if we decide to host one. Um, so yeah, shout out to y'all. Shout out to me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the fam. Um, Shout out to the relationships that I've had that I've benefited from in a way of coming out that shell and coming out that shell and coming out the shadow the shadows that I was behind or like casted in and stuff like that, because again, if I didn't find those people, I think I would still be shelled off, just wanted to be by myself and like not necessarily have discovered or made the discoveries about myself that I've made now. So shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. And of course, shout out to my mom. Again, I think as a parent, she as a parent, I guess, and this is just me speaking on my thoughts of how this encounter went. As a parent who just like say like met a guy like my father and was like okay, and found out as much as he probably told her about Marfans, and her taking it upon to find out a little bit more and to be the loving parent that she only knew how to, because I don't I would just think that she probably didn't know how to raise a child with Marfans, and that's what happened. So she did the best that she could, and she figured out as much as she could, and shout out to her. Um, where am I at? How to reach me? Like I said, everything is in the in the description in the post, in the description for the podcast, the post. But yeah, when I post this, I think with this episode, I'm gonna inform people to go and listen to. Of course, I want you to listen to every episode, but this one in particular. Everything that you need to reach me, email, everything you is definitely in the description, or definitely on any of my Instagram pages. Subscribe, like I said, subscribe to the podcast. We're on Anchor and Apple Podcasts, and we're going to be on YouTube real soon. So subscribe to the podcast on Anchor, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to the podcast / videos on YouTube. And who knows, there might be like a giveaway type thing. I like giveaways, and I see how they do it on other YouTube pages, so there might be something in it. Go look at Your Average Consumer unboxing tech videos and look how he does his giveaways. So when you see how he does his giveaways, that's what I'm gonna do. So stay tuned and be a fan, and peace.